We're now going to chat to some of the overseas entrants who will be taking their place on the World Final grid here at Skegness Raceway.
Good evening, Tyler Walker, another one of our NZ entrants over for the World Final at Skegness. How you doing?
Good, man. It's a pleasure to be here. So it's I guess once in a lifetime opportunity. So it's cool to be here.
Excellent. So when did you guys come over? When did you land in the UK?
So we landed here Saturday.
Saturday,
Saturday, I think it was like 5 o'clock in the morning here on Saturday, and pretty much had a day here, and then went to Aldershot and had a spin in a F2, and it's just been pretty all go since we got here, really.
Okay, so you did Formula 2 on the Sunday. It was Sunday Aldershot, was it Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday, wasn't it?
They had the semi-final for the World Semi-Finals, and we Craig Driscoll sorted the car out for us, and just to try and get us a bit of track time on tarmac, I guess, really. Sort of any help on tarmac will help. So track time on tarmac. It was good.
How did you find the Formula 2?
Terrible, actually. It was enjoyable once I got into it, but I don't know. It's down the middle, and you couldn't left foot brake, so the brake and accelerator were right beside each other. Yeah. I'd go corner entry trying to set myself up, and I'd be hitting the accelerator while I'm hitting the brake, and fed myself in a few times and spun out a few times. Once we got going, I think we had pretty good pace, and we got fed in pretty good by someone and pretty much destroyed the car and caught it a day early, I think. So yeah.
So all in all, a successful Formula 2 meeting by the sound of it.
Pretty unsuccessful, I think, but yeah.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
Formula 2s are obviously a lot smaller than the Formula 1s. Seem a lot more precise from what you've got to be right on it. And I guess to go into what would be a very busy meeting, having never driven it with loads of cars around you, it must have been quite difficult to kind of get right. I need to just learn this before I actually start racing other people. Yeah,
basically, I don't know. It's hard to wrap my head around, I guess. Like just being on tarmac alone. But I don't know. Well, I guess once I got the pedals figured out, I was a bit more consistent and could actually concentrate on driving rather than just trying to remember not to hit the accelerator to put myself on the wall again. But it was a good learning curve, that's for sure. So it's just I don't know. We only race on dirt over in New Zealand, so any help we can get on tarmac is going to be beneficial come World Final day. So
yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely makes sense. So since Aldershot, you've been where?
So we just got to. So we're at Aldershot yesterday, and we just got to Blackburn this afternoon.
Yeah.
Which is where I'm racing Neil Fitton's car, and it's pretty much been prepped by him and Austin Moore. Yeah. So we just shot there and had a quick seat fit and make sure we were fit, and checked a few things out and sorted some stuff, and just got back to the house where we're staying in, and now we're here. So
all good, all settled.
Yeah, I think so. As much as we can be. So
we did a thing with Austin a while ago, and he had some pictures of his land, I suppose, and there was loads of stock cars there. This was 2-3 years ago. Is it still the same? Has he still got loads of stock cars knocking around everywhere?
He's got 3 there at the moment. He's got 2 shell cars and the tarmac car I'm driving on the World Final. So I think he's pretty tight for room with little sheds, but obviously he makes it work. So
good. And obviously first time coming over to the UK and sort of seeing a Formula 1 stock car up close and personal. What's your initial thoughts of them?
I guess they're fairly basic. I guess they're probably more so what our cars were probably 20 years ago. But they're, I guess they're somewhat basic, but I don't know, basic is good. And I guess it's about trying to get the power to the ground. They've got so much more horsepower compared to what we have. So I guess it comes down to a lot more about setup and, driving them how they need to be driven. So just that in itself is probably a huge learning curve. But hopefully we can have some track time and build some confidence and go from there, really.
Yeah. So, you talked about it's setup's key. Do you think you'll have an input into that? Obviously, because you've raced in New Zealand, successful, so you've got an idea how to set up a race car. Do you think there's some transferable skills that you can bring to Formula One to the weekend?
Somewhat. I know how I like to drive a car, but then they probably need to be driven a certain way as well. So if I can try and meet in the middle a little bit, yeah, it's hard to tell. I'll probably just let them set up. Obviously, we don't really have much of an idea of what they need to be, but how they need to be. So we're pretty good at setting up a car at home, but here obviously it's a whole new world. So I'll just set up to how they've got it, and then I'll just see how I like it and say what I think I need, and they'll probably have a bit of input, and hopefully we can combine both and go forward.
Because obviously on the Friday, Skegness, you can practice all afternoon, which is great. So you've got a real opportunity to get that track time and in a non-racing environment. So it gives you that opportunity.
Yeah. Hopefully, I've also got the F2 car racing on the Friday as well.
Okay.
So I just figured as like that's going to be full field racing. So a bit of experience with cars, or a bit more experience with cars around me and that on tarmac. So and then any track time on that sort of track surface, and especially with the World Final being there, is hopefully going to help us going forward with like the time trials that day and the World Final the next day. So
So going back to New Zealand for a moment. So how long have you been racing in New Zealand?
I think probably 15 years.
Yeah.
It'll be maybe 16 years. Yeah, I think I've been in stock cars for 13. So and then raced super stocks the last 3 years. So
prior, because super stocks is like the pinnacle, isn't it, of New Zealand stock car racing? That's kind of what people want to. That's what you aspire to. That's the main formula, I suppose. So prior to that, was it like just feeder formulas, if you like, or how did that work?
So I think the first 4 years I raced mini stocks. And then, which is basically a beginner class for 12 to 16-year-olds. And then pretty much progressed from there to stock cars, which is pretty similar to super stocks, except we're a bit more controlled with what we're allowed to run, and small engines, obviously. And then, sort of been pretty competitive in that class for the last 10 years or so, and then decided to make the step up to super stocks where we could. So,
And in terms of coming over to the UK, because it's kind of invitational, isn't it? We ask people to come over based on, I guess, performances. So what was your ticket over here, if you like?
Basically just put my name forward, really. I know I actually messaged Guy Parker like 2 years. We're not. So I won the New Zealand Stock Car Champs, and to be fair, I thought I'm never going to have my own super stock, so I'll never have a chance to go. So I messaged them in the hope that they might have a spare spot or something like that. So I never got a reply, but like 4 years later, we're here now. So I just put a message to Sonia Hickey, which she sorts out a lot of stuff. And then she said if I'm going to have a spot left, she'll let me know. And I don't know, probably must have been 6-7 months ago now. They said that they've got a spot. So we're here, I guess. So I don't think many people like coming over, or Kiwis like coming over and racing on the tarmac.
Yes.
I guess like they're already unfamiliar cars, let alone unfamiliar surface. So I think they struggle to try and get Kiwis to come over and do a World Final on tarmac. If it's shale, I'd say it'd be a whole different story.
Yes.
But so no, we've got a spot and we're here and we're good to go.
Yeah, and clearly you're very happy about it. I mean, you obviously know about stock cars, and it's, I guess for yourself, it's a once in a lifetime experience, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, like speed I guess has always been my life. Like I've given up a lot of stuff to get where I've got today, I guess. And I don't know, England's sort of my Bathurst or Chili Bowl, or so to be able to be here, I guess, doing the World Final this week is pretty surreal. So it's cool.
Yeah. And do you keep an eye on like Formula One stock cars in England? Do you kind of like keep an eye on who's doing good, where people are at?
Yeah, I have probably the last 5-6 years. I've always kept a pretty good eye of what's going on and that sort of stuff. I don't know a whole lot about the cars and that sort of thing, but championships and all that sort of stuff, I've always kept a pretty good eye on it. So
yeah, good. Right. So looking at Skegness, like I said, Time Trials Friday, you're doing the Formula 2, which is brilliant. So what do you want to achieve from the weekend or from the big race?
To be fair, just to finish is hard enough in itself, I guess. You never know. Obviously, at stock cars, you never know what's going to happen. But I don't know. Just have a good, reliable car, and if I can just be on lead lap, like I guess on the lead lap, to finish, and then still be on the lead lap, that'd be a huge achievement to myself. I don't know. It's it's hard to know really, what to expect or. But yeah, just if I can finish, it's a start, and then if I can still be on the lead lap and I guess show some decent pace, that's all I want to achieve. Yeah.
Are you nervous still?
No, I don't really get too nervous, to be fair. So I'll be sweet, I think.
Yeah. And how many of you come over in your party?
So there's 5 of us. So me, my dad, which hasn't really missed a meeting since I've started racing, and then a couple other friends. So
yeah. And when do you guys go home?
So we do the World Masters, the World Final World Masters, and then we do Bradford. I think it's the 22nd.
Yeah, the following weekend. Yeah,
fly home the 23rd. Something like that. So we're still here for another week and a bit.
Yeah, so very similar to what Caleb was saying. He was saying he was doing the same, whereas Trent did Bradford.
So he came a couple weeks early, and yeah. So we're basically doing the same. It's just swap the dates around a bit. So if I was coming over, I really wanted to try Shell as well. Like I don't want to come all this way and miss out on I guess a different platform of something that's a bit more closer to what we have at home. So to actually test my capabilities, I guess. So I'm really looking forward to Bradford.
Yeah, I mean Bradford. Have you seen? I mean Bradford's a brilliant stadium as well. It's a fantastic track. So it
looks crazy. It looks like a pretty tough track on cars. But yeah, it looks like a fun track to drive.
Good. Listen, it's been brilliant to talk to you. Thanks so much. Coming all this way, you can't do it on your own. I guess, and you've got sort of sponsors and people who've helped. Is there anybody you kind of want to really mention before we get back to your evening?
I've got my sponsors for this coming season. If anyone else wants to jump on board, there's always room. But I'll pull this up. Hey. Yeah.
Yes, it's always important to mention sponsors, and there's always room. I think there's 2 key things to say.
Yeah, 100%. Like we couldn't do what we do without them, really. So, I've got Dairy Master, which they've been my main sponsor for. Well, to be fair, they were my first ever sponsor from when I first started racing mini stocks, and they've been on board the whole time. So we wouldn't be here without them. Brand Lab, Mermaid's Relief Milking Services, Highmark Central, Munchies Express, which he's over here with us. He was a massive help. Markins Tracy, they were a massive help with fundraising and everything that they've done to get us over here. Broken Clutch Rebuilders, Ari Automotive, USA Specialties, Ripco, Milk and Beans, Sportsweb Photography, The Garage, TWB Contracting, and Royal Oil. So, it's not cheap to race in New Zealand, let alone come across the world to race. So, it's a massive appreciation to what they do and their help. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, brilliant. Thanks so much. Listen, it's been great to talk to you, and good luck at the Skegness World Final, and I'm sure I'll see you and say hello. All right.
Perfect. No, thank you for having us on.
Thank you very much. See you later. Thank you.